Fellow Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Today, as we gather all over the world to celebrate our independence, not just as a people striving for freedom, but as a people who recognize the heavy burden that our leaders, those behind bars, are carrying on behalf of every Ambazonian soul. Their struggle, though now confined within the walls of prisons, is a powerful testament to the unbreakable spirit of liberation that pulses in the hearts of all of us. We indeed recognize and will forever remain in our hearts the tremendous sacrifices that those that have died have made, and the sacrifices that their families that are left behind, our internally displaced persons and refugees are making. Top of the list of the sacrifices are those made by our brothers and sisters who are putting their lives in the battle lines in defense of our homeland. Some are killed, some are wounded, but their resolve has kept this struggle until today and tomorrow. Without overlooking any other sacrifices, we want to this time highlight the sacrifices of our prisoners of conscience epoch. Dr. Mfongalamfo and late Chief Otu Ayamba spent most of their lives in and out of jail because of our strive for justice and freedom. Presently, Dr. Mfongalamfo is serving life sentence with our President, Sisiko Ayuk-Tabe, and his team made of professors, lawyers, lecturers, and engineers. In that prison, Mr. Patrick Ndango of the 2017 Bunker video, Dr. Eric Tita Motakwi, Pa Chechi Joseph, and many others are standing tall for our restoration struggle. They've already spent over 7 years and counting in jail. Next door, at the Kondengi Central Prison, Mancho Bibixi, Pen Terence, T. Comrade, Dr. Ekiko, Dr. Christopher Guido, Abdul Karim Ali, the Taraba 37 with their leader, Tita Tebit, had said the Calabar 10 are amongst about 300 Ambazonian men and women. The Boya prison now has over 1,200 Ambazonians in detention. Yes, over 1,200 persons who are standing for the restoration of the independence of their nation. Over 5,000 of our comrades have been languishing in jails in French Cameroon and in our homeland since 2016. Their only crime, if crime it is that they are Ambazonians. These men and women, jailed because they dared to stand up for the cause of freedom, have been and are making immense sacrifices. Wazizi and many more died in jail, and behind those cold concrete walls, they've been stripped of their basic human rights, their families, their freedom, their health, and even their dignity. They suffer daily, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. Yet, despite these hardships, they have not wavered in their commitment to the cause. They are bearing the brunt of the struggle for a free Ambazonia. Their imprisonment is a symbolic reminder of the price we all must be prepared to pay for our freedom. Every day they spent in jail is a day they give up their personal lives so that the future generations can live in a free Ambazonia. Their children grow up without their parents. Their families face immense challenges, yet they remain resolute. Their bravery should not be forgotten, nor should their resilience be in vain. These are not just ordinary individuals. They are the pillars of our struggle, the very embodiment of our resistance. Within them is the face of our liberation struggle, the Mandela of the Ambazonian crusade. They could have chosen to remain silent, to live comfortably within the system of oppression, and be fighting on social media, but they refused. They refused because the fire of freedom burns too brightly in their hearts, a fire that cannot be extinguished even by the chains of injustice. But while they continue to endure in their confinement, we who are free must take stock of our responsibility. It is an absolute necessity that those of us who are free must stand united. Division and disunity among our leadership, both at home and in the diaspora, weaken the strength of our movement. If leaders, though free in body, are divided in mind and purpose, then we fail not only ourselves, but also those who languish in prison on our behalf and those who are on the front lines defending homeland. We must come together, and we must do so now. Every leader who walks freely outside the prison walls owes it to our jailed brothers and sisters to carry forward the mantle of the struggle with a unified heart. We owe it to Ground Zero, Ground One, and Ground Two. Unity is not an option. It is a duty. A divided liberation movement cannot withstand the pressures of external forces, and it cannot claim to honor the sacrifices of those who are suffering in jails. It cannot claim to honor those who have died because of our liberation struggle. We must have one vision, one strategy, and one voice. Our adversaries strive on our disunity. They celebrate when the sea cracks amongst us because they know that a fractured movement is a weakened movement. But if we are to prevail, we must put aside personal ambitions, egos, and individual differences for the greater good of Ambazonia. This is not time for rivalry or discord. It is the time for collaboration of purpose and commitment to a singular cause, the liberation of our homeland, the liberation of Ambazonia. The stakes are too high for us to remain divided. The future of Ambazonia depends on our collective effort. The road to freedom is long and fraught with difficulties, but it is a journey we must take together. The spirit of unity is the strongest weapon we have in this fight for independence. When we unite, we send a message not only to those who oppress us, but also to those who fight alongside us, that we are a people who will not be broken, who will not be divided, and who will not rest until we are free. We owe it to those in prison, to those who have been martyred, to the children who look up to us as leaders of tomorrow, to present a united front. We owe it to the next generation to hand them a free, sovereign Ambazonia. Let us not wait for tomorrow to unite. Let us not wait until more of our leaders are jailed or worse. Yesterday, it was Siseko Ayuk Tabe and his team. Yet, yesterday again, it was Dr. Chua Yaba. This is the time now for us to come together. We must rise above our divisions, come together in solidarity, and work tirelessly towards a common purpose. Our leaders in detention are depending on us. They cannot continue the struggle alone behind bars, but they trust that we will not abandon the cause. We must ensure that their sacrifice is not in vain. As I stand before you today, I call on every Ambazonian leader, every freedom fighter, every citizen to reflect on the sacrifices of those jailed for our cause. Their freedom has been taken so that ours may be won. Let us not betray their sacrifice through division. Let us honor it by uniting as one, determined to see our collective dream of a free Ambazonia realized. A team of elders have reached out to us and called for us to be united in purpose. We have a platform already which has proven that collaboration works when we see and respect each other as comrades. That collaboration works when we open to reason together, strategize together, and are willing to learn from our competences. That collaboration works when we sincerely agree that we will fight together, and when we fall, we hold ourselves back up and keep fighting for our common purpose. A team will continue to have discussions at the background with other stakeholders within our liberation ecosystem as we continue to build our collaborative platform. We are open to talk to any leader in our liberation struggle so that we work together for our common good. Let us fight for that day when no Ambazonian leader sits in prison because they dare to speak out for justice. Let us fight for that day when we stand free, sovereign, united, and build our country to serve our interests and those of generations to come. I am ready, and I hope you are ready too. Come, join us, and let us work for the interest of Ambazonia. Thank you. Happy Independence Day. May the spirit of unity guide us, and may the sacrifices of our jailed leaders inspire us to victory. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Long live Ambazonia.